DI box. Okay, what is a DI box? Another name for DI box is actually called direct injection box. Okay, what is DI box? Actually, DI box, well, just read through the actual description. It takes an unbalanced high impedance signal and convert into balanced low impedance signal. So what is it? Okay, so it's basically, it allows you to run a guitar or bass directly into a microphone preamp or mixer, or to send signal over extended cable runs without losing volume or significant high frequency information. So basically, anything that uses a guitar jack, okay, your keyboard output, your bass guitar output use a guitar jack, right? So if anything that needs longer than 5 meters, use a DI box. That's a basic thing we need to remember. We use a DI box for it. So why is it so? Because the DI box, if you have a guitar cable that's 10 meter long, if I were to plug it to the mixer, I will have sound. But apart from losing some volume, we will have some noise. So the DI box helps to eliminate that, because it is a balanced and unbalanced. So just to remember, so anything more than 5 meter, we just use DI box. Basically, this is how we connect a DI box. This is how we do it. We're going to refer to this signal, this diagram again. What kind of DI box we have here? What kind of DI box here we have in TOW? We have the Rapco. We call a Rapco DB1, that is a passive. Okay, you must have seen this. You have also seen this in the chapel. We use the same model DB as well. Okay, you notice that there's slight difference between these two models. Okay, particularly it has a speaker instrument, whatever. Okay, I will explain what is this. We have this blue, is a Clark Technic, a DN100, is KT, the blue one. And then we have this DBX, DB10, and we use this in our auditorium. We also have this purpose use Rapco LT1. It's a stereo. I think we use it in the youth meeting hall. We also have this Rapco blocks. This is a mono, passive, and of course, if you're the reserve longer, you have seen this silver colored DI box, Behringer. Okay, all these were passive except for the Clark Technic, which is an active. So active requires phantom power. Okay, passive does not require power. Okay, but this DI box Behringer, active. Okay, but also this guy can put a 9-volt battery in there. So what's the difference between stereo and mono? Okay, stereo is basically two mono, one left signal, one right signal. So that's stereo. Mono is just one signal, so it will goes to left and right. You will see it will go left and right. It join into mono. It join into a signal. So how do we connect this? Okay, so now we have input and output. So of course this colored blue color, I think, or purple or pink. This is the input. This is if I were a keyboard or guitar jack, it will go input, and output, which is the microphone connector, which is an XLR. This one goes to the console. So in this case, the diagram, the guitar goes into the input and the output goes to the mixer. Okay, this connection can be like 100 meters long and it still be fine. Okay, but you don't need to be 100 meters. This 100 feet also is quite good already. Okay, so that's the input and output. Then what else we have? Oh, we have this. How come there's another output here? Okay, so this is a Thru, or basically a bypass or a duplicate. Why do we have this? Because sometimes a guitarist in TOW, we don't have guitar amps because we all use IEMs. But sometimes the other musicians or other place, they would want to send their signal to the front of the house or the sound system. Also, they want to put it into their guitar amps or their stage monitors or whatever. This is where you got an output here. Another output goes to their guitar amps. So it is like a duplicate, unaffected. Okay. So that is the output Thru. So you will see this, then don't be surprised. You see a Thru. What else? Okay. Oh, we have a pad. Okay. What is a pad? is basically like a suppressor. Okay, except for DB1, there is no pad here. Okay, but this DBSL has a pad, even though it's called speaker and instrument. So basically, why is this speaker? Sometimes we need to take an amp output from the amplifier output goes into here. We can actually pad it down so that it won't overload our mixer. Some keyboard, even though the set level less than half, it will overpower the mixer, the gain input. If you don't even set, wow, so loud, I cannot even do anything, and it tend to distort. That's where this pad comes into play. We can actually engage it so that it will bring down the overall level, and then on the mixer we can actually slowly bring it back up. Okay, most of the time I do not find a need to use this, but sometimes if you tell you know, hey, how come today the guitar very soft? I put the preamp, the gain like almost maximum, only can get a level. So it's good to go and check this DI box. Maybe when they set up, they kick the DI and this pad is engaged. So you must disengage it, then your level will come back up again. Alright, so you notice that I purposely blow this up. This pad is minus 30 dB. Right, sometimes you need to crank it up all the way up, and then only can get a level. That's perhaps sometimes this pad is engaged. On the DBX, you notice that there is two pad. There's minus 20 and minus 40, and 0 is 0. Okay, sometimes they might be engaged, so be careful. Sometimes you have to check. Sometimes how come guitar no level, everything got maybe the pad is engaged. So I always make it a point to check. But even though this the DBX is a bit harder to engage, most of the time on the chapel they tend to engage this because it's all dark. You know, they try to feel around it. They just engage everything. Okay. Next, what is ground lift? Okay. All DI box has a ground lift. Okay. See, there's a ground lift. There's a ground lift. What is it ground lift? Okay. Basically, it's an isolator. Your DI box is some form of transformer, and when we plug in, sometimes we get a hum and or a buzz. So if that happens, try to engage the ground lift, and most of the time it will solve your problem. So do I need to engage it all the time? It's up to you. Most of the time I don't engage it until I have a problem. If I hear any buzz, then I will engage it, okay, and see whether the problem goes away or not. If the problem doesn't go away, then the buzz comes from somewhere else, okay. But most of the time, if I engage it, the problem will go away. If I got no problem with the buzz, I'll leave it on, okay. What else? What are the other features? Okay, the other features are like this mono. Okay, like I told you, mono. You saw this mono. If I engage this mono, this DI box will come out mono signal. Means both output and left output no longer left-right signal. It will become mono signal. Left output, right output, also left got right signal, and right output got left signal output. Notice that there's a pad here also, and then also the ground lift. Okay, and how come got two ground lift? Because I got left output, right output. This particular model got a volume knob, and then again there's a little switch here. There's a ground lift there, so you engage it. Okay, and finally, this particular DI box DBX has another special feature where there is a polarity invert. Okay, what is polarity invert? Okay, we will learn about it, but basically whatever is supposed to be positive, you engage it, that positive become negative, your negative become positive. And there's a reason for this. So they included this as a feature. Sometimes we use, sometimes we don't. Most of the time we don't, but it's a feature. And what is this filter? Oh, filter is what this filter is. Usually we will keep it as flat, but if you engage it, which is right now is engaged, okay, you saw the knob is up, is going to that little curve down, is actually high pass filter. Anything above 6 kilohertz, 6K is cut off. This is to mimic certain emulation. You make it sound like it's coming from an amplifier, because most of the guitar amplifier don't have anything above 6K. If I were to me, I will keep it flat all the time, because if I want to engage it, I will just engage it on the mixer side so that I have more control. Okay, this is really just a point of convenience. So that's all for DI box.